Hi guys, Lemmy here. I've decided that I wanted to make a new segment on my channel where I'll be discussing art-related topics and hopefully open up kind of like a discussion in chat where we can all share our thoughts and opinions. I get that not everyone is going to feel the exact same way I do about every subject, and I totally respect that. So, without any further ado, I'll be talking a bit about today's topic, which is jealousy within the art community. Back in the day, when I was growing up, I used to struggle a lot with art. So, drawing pictures, inking, coloring, all of that stuff took hours of my time, and at the end of the day, I would absolutely hate everything that I made. I used to go on DeviantArt, and I would be on there for hours. I would collect pictures from very skilled artists that I absolutely adored back then. I often wondered how those pictures were made and just didn't understand why my art sucked so much in comparison. And the absolute worst was when I compared myself to someone who was younger than I was at the time. Like, that really kind of took me down a few pegs, and I felt pretty upset about it. Anyway, I also had some artsy friends back in the day, like, oh yeah, Lemmy had friends, right? Who had similar thoughts. So everybody was jealous of somebody, and everybody wished they made art that they couldn't. No matter how hard any of them tried, just nothing looked like the art that we saw on the internet. So looking back at this, it seems very normal. I mean, we all want to improve, we all want to get better. I mean, I have friends now who are younger than I am who have similar experiences and feelings to what I felt back then. Jealousy can be a great motivator to get better at art. However, it can also make you feel absolutely horrible. Instead of feeling proud of what you've made, you're kind of busy looking down upon it and saying it's not as good as someone else's. And that feeling doesn't feel great, but it's also very self-destructive and very self-defeating. Then there's this other side of jealousy that can just be downright cruel. So those friends I mentioned earlier really love this girl's art. So let's call this girl Susie. So Susie was a similar age to my friends, but to be honest, she had better quality artwork. To be realistic, it was probably only slightly better, but still. So they became really bitter about it and eventually began to insult Susie to try to take her down a few pegs. So this behavior, this jealousy, it was super toxic. One girl insulting Susie became two friends insulting Susie, and then three friends insulting Susie. Instead of using their jealousy to motivate themselves or inspire themselves, they took out their negative feelings on this poor girl who literally had no idea they even existed. So this kind of leads me to the next topic, jealousy of success. So Susie was seeing some success with her website that was probably at the time comparable to my friend's website. One of her uploads was pretty popular, and my friend would not stop talking about it. So it became, oh, Susie's horrible, and this people like her terrible artwork. What makes Susie so great? And this is what prompted my friend to actually leave comments on her website insulting her. Now, my one friend insulting Susie's website became two friends insulting Susie's website, then it became three friends insulting Susie's website. I mean, it's kind of weird looking back on this because who the hell knows what even happened to Susie? Like, I have no idea myself what happened to her. I know she was upset when my friend finally went off the deep end and actually expressed her hatred towards her. I mean, I'm pretty sure that she took down her website and that it went offline, like probably a really long time ago. But looking back on it, it was like, well, what's the point? Like, why did this even happen? Did it have to happen? Obviously not. Did it make my friends better artists? No, not at all. Did it make them feel better? And the answer that I came up with was no, not really, because once they were done with Susie, they went on to other girls. Like, I think personally it's almost a way of deflecting how bad that they felt about their own artwork, that they kind of took it out on this poor girl, right? So I guess the moral of the story is don't be like those girls. So, also a side note, I kind of recently went through my DeviantArt's favorites section. At the art that I used to think was inspiring, I took a look at that. And to be honest, now that I'm a better artist, I can see lots of flaws in those pieces, and they weren't as perfect as I had originally thought that they were. And in many cases, I don't even like the pictures anymore. It's funny that as your skills develop, your eye gets keener and also your tastes improve. And by no means am I trying to brag or say I'm better than anyone, but it's just a thing where you kind of just don't find the work to be as impressive as you used to. This probably happens when you may feel like you can make similar art, or you can understand how the art was made, so it kind of loses its magic somewhere. The funny thing is, even though I'm older, I still hear a lot of comments about, well, a lot of comments that I think personally are just jealousy driven. So since I've started YouTube, I've been hearing these comments, and they're like, so-and-so's videos suck. So-and-so doesn't deserve this. So-and-so doesn't deserve that many subscribers. I can't believe so-and-so got to go there and do that with so-and-so else. So-and-so shouldn't have gotten those art supplies because blah blah blah. But it's like, you have to realize that having attitudes like these are terrible. Not just for the community, but for yourself. Now, when I see these sorts of comments, I think automatically that they're jealous and they're unhappy with what they have going for themselves, or rather, they think that they don't have something going for themselves. And it's important to realize that, we all have our own personal art journey, so success will come find you when it does. You gotta work hard and improve, which those things are hand in hand, and with a lot of luck, something might happen to you. Everyone gets better at art at different paces, and everyone starts off at a different place, but success will find you, and it might even find you in like the wildest way. If there is some sort of advice I could give myself back then, it would be that you have to look at it as in we're all in boats and we're all going in the same direction trying to get to a similar destination. So instead of trying to sink each other's boat, you can make friends with the other people in their boats. And when you make friends and support one another, you get there faster, because if your ship breaks down, your friend will help you. So admire others instead of being jealous of others. Support one another instead of tearing one another apart. My friend totally could have been friends with Susie, and just imagine that for a moment. What would have happened if they just became friends? I mean, if I could see all these positive waves of spinning things, I'm sure I wouldn't have had to feel so bad about myself all the time and feel like my art was lacking. So I feel like I gotta explain this because I know I'm gonna get a comment saying, oh, were you actually Susie? Or were you the girl who harassed Susie? And you're talking about your quote-unquote friend, but it was really you. But to answer your question, no, I'm not the friend, and no, I'm not Susie. I just told you straight up the story. It was my friend, and I did feel bad for Susie back in the day, so what I ended up doing was going to her website and leaving comments, answering my friend's nasty comments, and defending Susie, because I felt bad for her. She didn't deserve it. And, eventually my friend did find out that I was the one who responded to her comments, And yeah, that didn't work out too well for us, and we're not friends anymore. Uh, so yeah, I'm not the person who attacked Susie, and I am not the person who was attacked. Anyway, do you guys have any stories about jealousy in the art community? Have you had any personal experiences with it, or how did you handle it? Looking back, do you feel you handled it the proper way, or do you think you could have done better or done something differently? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the matter. And as always, have a great week, and I'll see you again next Friday. Also, let me know if you like these talky videos, because I really want to engage with you, and I think that talking about something that we have in common, that we've experienced at different points in our lives, or if you're going through it right now, I think it can be very beneficial to people. So let me know what you think, and yeah, I'll see you next Friday. Bye, guys!